This video is sponsored by NordVPN. Use code Tong to get 70% off a 3-year plan and an extra month for free. Unlock region-exclusive content from your streaming services at home and protect yourself online today. What's up, everybody? Tong here, and yes, up here, this does look like a bird's nest on my head. I like to call it #Quarantong. But this video is a big one from who seems to be Apple's most wanted man right now, John Prosser from Front Page Tech, who just leaked a ridiculous treasure chest of Apple Glass info. And honestly, it's unlike anything we've seen to learn this much for a first-gen product from Apple, and there are a lot of juicy details, so let's just get right into what Prosser said. Apple Glass is the name, and it'll be priced at $499. That's $499 plus the price of a prescription. Like, wow, I didn't even believe that price. And we also know there will be plenty of people who are going to buy these and wear them even if they can see perfectly fine because Apple. Now, $499 is a price I didn't think we'd actually see it. I thought maybe $799 to $1,000, but that lines up with the rumor reports from Bloomberg and others that had said that the iPhone will likely be doing all the data processing. That'll be the case here, similar to just how the first-gen Apple Watch was heavily dependent on the iPhone, but as they collected data to see how people were using it, it's really evolved to become its own thing and one of the best products in Apple's lineup 5 generations later. Now, Prosser says Apple Glass has been planned as Apple's one more thing announcement, and that it's targeting the iPhone 12 event to make that announcement. That event is expected to be pushed out into Q4 2020 sometime in October, according to his sources, because they really want the press to be present at this event, make it a big deal, right? The iPhone event has always been their flagship announcement of the year. Well, things will be different now with new social distancing guidelines in place, but they want the media to be there. Now, if things don't change by then, it could move the Apple Glass announcement target to Q1 2021. Apple Glass won't be available right away. Prosser sources says it'll be available to the public, though, sometime between Q4 2021 and Q1 2022, so about a year later. Apple's had no problem announcing a product and then releasing it a lot later, for example, the new Mac Pro. So these are just really juicy details, but guess what? Prosser isn't even done yet because he gets into specifics, like specifics. He's seen video footage of actual prototypes of Apple Glass. He won't release it for legal reasons yet, but he says the prototype he saw was plastic, but the final material could change. Now, the design isn't going to look like some of those wild, futuristic concepts that are being thrown around online. They are going to look just like glasses, and they're not going to be intimidating tech. Like, I thought everyone would love to wear something like this. I could totally see my mom wearing something like this because I can't remember a super techie piece of eyewear that looked intimidating at all, that fell flat on its face. Google Glass. Oh. Now, they even had a name for them, glass holes. But the current Apple Glass prototype, also no cameras on it, just a LiDAR sensor on the right temple to gather depth information of the world around you. And sure, I guess you could call it a camera, but users won't be able to access its data or its feed at all. And I really think that restraint is going to answer consumers' biggest concern. The first question you're going to have people ask, are people going to be able to record what I do? And this instantly makes it attractive from a privacy standpoint and also aligns with Apple's stance on privacy. Now, tech companies we have seen, they are so eager to put cameras on everything, but as of now, Apple Glass won't have a camera on it. And maybe that happens in the second gen after people accept Apple Glass. It might not happen at all as they learn how people are using it. Okay, also, Apple Glass will charge wirelessly, so you'll have to flip them upside down according to Prosser, and they will charge on a plastic stand that will come with the glasses. Pretty slick, but will they charge on the AirPower mat Apple is reportedly still working on and not giving up on just yet? Okay, moving along, because Prosser, guess what? He has more to drop. There will be displays in both lenses, so you won't be peeking in like the far corner at the top or bottom. You're going to be able to see things in both eyeballs. Every type of eyewear I've tried that is kind of trying to predict this augmented reality future, they always have you looking in a corner here or there, and this is already just a subtle distinction that will make them more natural to use. The user interface for Apple Glass is called Starboard, and that's the play off of Apple's phone UI named Springboard. Apple Glass will be controlled via gestures on the device when you touch them, and via gestures from your hands that can detect when you place them in front of the device. Now, that is wild because I'm sure it's going to be subtle, but if people are going to be walking around swiping left and right, like Minority Report, all over the place, that could be interesting. But the glasses, they will also scan proprietary Apple QR codes. And this is really interesting with how we might see Apple Glass interact when we're out and about, once we can go out and about. Now, we can connect this to the Moving Product newsletter that reported earlier the leaked version of iOS 14 is implementing a new QR code format that uses colored cones in a circular shape in their AR app codenamed Gobi. Now, it will also be able to scan more traditional looking QR codes and will be used in retail locations, but you can start kind of putting this together, how traditional QR codes and these new Apple branded colorful ones will be part of the Apple Glass experience to serve you information when it sees them. Now, we'll likely start seeing some of this happen with the new iPhones and their LiDAR scanners as people just get more comfortable, specifically in the Apple ecosystem, with the idea of interacting with QR codes. We know that they have been around forever, but this is still something that not everyone uses. Okay, processor still has more to share. This is crazy. There are currently no versions of Apple sunglasses in the works because at the moment, the displays do not work on tinted lenses. So no Apple sunglass, not yet at least. And that makes sense, but it also makes me sad because look, I have better than 20/20 vision. The last time I checked, I'm not gonna wear sunglasses indoors to look cool just because.
Check, 159, check out. Oh.
All right, who am I kidding? I'm gonna absolutely try these things out for $4.99 just to experience them. Now also, we know the 2020 iPad Pro is basically a 2018 iPad Pro with a LiDAR sensor on it, but Apple's gonna be learning a lot with how people are using the LiDAR sensors on the iPad, and then especially when they bring them to the iPhone 12 Pros. It's all about the data they collect from these devices, and it's gonna drive their decisions with Apple Glass. It also reminds me of the same exact process that they did with Apple Watch, a device that in the beginning was very dependent on the iPhone as well. I've talked to people who helped launch that product, and they said that they made the Apple Watch very broad at first just to find out how people were using it before they decided how people should use it. Now, I bought one to review, but I wasn't the biggest fan of the first gen because it didn't do much other than it was kind of like this fancy notification bracelet at the time. It also tracked my steps. Now, I skipped Series 2, but then Apple showed me that they knew what they were doing when they completely revamped Watch OS 3. It took Apple Watch in this bold new direction, and that's when it became what it is today. You can really expect this same process with Apple Glass. It's going to take a few years before it really hits its stride, but Apple's going to follow that same strategy, and all these LiDAR sensors on other Apple devices, it's going to help inform some of the direction that they take with Apple Glass until the actual product arrives. Woo! Okay, you got all that? There was so much there, so that's all we've got. All these new details are from John Prosser on Front Page Tech, and his track record, look, it speaks for itself. And with all that dropping, I would say everyone at Cupertino is a mad Apple.
Boo!
Ugh. So I still don't wear glasses, but come on, this is pretty dang cool. And for $4.99, we know every Apple fanboy or fangirl is gonna get them. Like, is there even a question? No, there's not. All right. Thanks again to our sponsor. NordVPN allows you to unlock your favorite apps like Netflix, YouTube, and your favorite entertainment sites from over 5,000 servers in 60 countries. Many of us are staying home now, and NordVPN unlocks all the content on many streaming services, including region-exclusive content. So watch more content from Netflix, Hulu, and others while protecting yourself from all that bad stuff online. It supports up to 6 simultaneous connections. There is double data encryption for increased anonymity, and it's compatible with Windows, macOS, Linux, iOS, and Android. NordVPN even has an extension for your Chrome browser. Now, it's been recommended as the best VPN by multiple sites and was an editor's choice, earning all the green checks on PC Mag. Right now, you can get 70% off NordVPN. Use code BrianTong with the link on screen to get 70% off a 3-year plan that's only $349 a month, and add an extra month for free. Protect yourself online today with NordVPN. All right, if y'all like this video, give me that thumbs up, subs up, and hit that notification bell, ding, to get all my videos when they drop. And if you want more of that Apple goodness, you've got to check out my Apple Bits XL audio podcast, where I go even deeper with these stories and more with special guests. So thanks, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and we will talk to you soon. Apple Glass leaks. Sheesh. All right, take care. Peace.